let's get into it.
What's new in the neighborhood?
What's new?
We'll define our careers, probably our lives, probably our children's lives into generation after generation. This will be what defines us as human beings in the eyes of society.
Well, I started this recording without alcohol, so that's a great start to our podcast.
It makes me feel what I think Donald Trump feels when he's talking about the wall. That sense of joy is what Chick-fil-A sauce. Delicious.
Is that a llama on your screensaver?
Yes.
Are we supposed to make loud slurping noises so everyone knows we're drinking?
Yeah, don't flirt beer, kids.
Hello, Podcast Nation. Man, has it been a while. It feels like ages, but mostly that's just because all of 2020 feels like ages, but also it's been a while.
It's been years.
It's been 1 year, I think. Point is, it's been a long time since we've recorded.
Equally prepared as ever, evidently.
Evidently.
How about that intro?
Yeah, that really stellar. I wish I could take credit for it, but all the credit goes to my brother Gabe. He did a phenomenal job.
He did. Pulled the best/worst clips from all of our old episodes, overlaid it with our favorite, our informed Dutchmen theme song. He did a killer job.
So good job, Gabe.
Trying to get him as a producer on the show.
He's a little rich for our blood, but we'll keep trying.
So we're back. Thanks for listening in again. I know we had a lot of people over those last year or whatever that they were wondering where we went.
Like 3 of them. Yeah. You got 3 people.
Your mom-in-law.
Yeah, my mom-in-law.
My brother likes it.
Okay. That's pretty much it. So two people.
Thank
2
you,
people,
loyal listeners.
Really looking forward to this.
So we're back. Why didn't it work the first time? I feel like we need to be kind of open about what happened. We just kind of dropped off the face of the earth. It was
going well, and we were enjoying it. But it just, life got busy, which is kind of a cop out. But it's just true.
I remember getting started. We were looking into the details for how to start a podcast, and we're like, okay, what do we need? A computer. Okay, cool. All right.
Got one of those.
How do you record? Like, how do you record the actual podcast? How do you get it onto the computer? So if we had Gabe 2 years ago, I feel like we would be all stars by now.
Right.
But alas, we had no Gabe. And we started off like, okay, we're going to get to 10 episodes, and we're going to get there in a month. And then we're going to see how it goes. And we got to 10 episodes all together.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like we sprinted into it. I feel like podcasting is more of a marathon mentality.
Yeah.
Take it as it comes. Ease into it. Keep it fresh.
We burned ourselves out in the first half of the marathon, and
do you remember
even the first half, first mile. We sprinted the first mile, which is never a good idea.
Do you remember what was that turkey trot that we ran? It was the year after our last year of cross country at Covenant, 2012, the fall of 2012. And there are some pictures. We'll try to find the pictures. We'll see if we can post them on our social media.
I got them somewhere.
They're on our Facebook. Me and Al, right before the race started. I think what did you whisper? You whispered to me like...
Hey, we were standing next to each other. Like, hey, you want to sprint for the first, like 100 meters? Like, yeah, let's do it. And we started sprinting, and everyone around us is just looking like, what? And there's pictures like it's almost like a time lapse. And everyone's staring at us as we're just sprinting off the block.
Perfectly in sync on our way to glorious
we even had
victory.
The same shoes.
Yeah, we did that year. 2, and then we were maybe a 10th of a mile in. And we were both totally drained. And like this 5-year-old starts running past us in the 5K. And we're like, oh man, we started way too fast.
He's flying.
And 2018 rolls around. We start up a podcast. And we're like, let's take off.
Let's do it again.
Let's sprint, baby. And
just like whatever just like the turkey trot.
10th of a mile in, and everyone's running past us. We're drained. We're walking. Yeah, so I think we got into it a little too fast. I am excited to be back.
Oh my word, yeah.
I can't tell you how good it is to be talking into a microphone. To have something that will faithfully listen to me without telling me to shut up. No one can. You just gotta go with it.
If you want to take the microphone home and just speak into it, so you have someone to listen to you when you're not here, I'm okay with that.
Well, I think for me, another reason why it had to end when it did is how difficult is it to hold a conversation with Alex for any length of time, much less a full podcast. Like, I remember...
Can you imagine how I feel when I'm talking to myself?
Well,
a little taste.
I couldn't imagine.
It's hard.
Poor
it's a hard life.
Kendra.
Oh, yeah, Kendra, too. Yeah.
A lifelong dedication to this that she vowed back in the day.
She did. It was
what
her,
she was getting
it was
into.
a big mistake, really.
I think our intro that Gabe put together is actually one of the key things that he captures our worst moments and our best moments. But pointing out things like, hey, did you get a new watch? I remember one podcast, you asked if I got a new watch. Just
what?
Broke off from our regular...
Why did I do that?
I don't know. And then I opened my phone and I had a llama screensaver. And you're like, is that a llama on your screensaver?
It made for good content. People were curious about
Alex, no one can see this. What are you doing? Killing me, Smalls. But
you do have a llama. Well, you did have a llama on your screensaver, and it was interesting.
Tell them what's on my screensaver now.
It is... Trent, I can't tell him what that is. That's incredibly inappropriate.
Okay, no.
That's something different.
It
was a cabin, and there's mountains, and there's snow. And
it's totally appropriate.
Totally appropriate.
Definitely winter appropriate.
I don't know what's going on inside the cabin. I can't speak to that.
So anyway, those kind of unique things, getting back into it, we're kind of just embracing that as that's just the Informed Dutchman way.
That's just who we are.
That's our unique style.
It's what makes us. It's what makes the Informed Dutchman the Informed Dutchman. We say things that are ridiculous and 3/4 of the time don't make sense. And we come to realize that's why people listen to it at all in the first place, which is baffling to me. But
like our message was unfiltered, and it was absolutely it was just us in our rawest, purest form. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But we were amazed by how many thousands of listens that we had.
Yeah.
Even after we stopped recording, they just kept adding up. And
it's funny because just even though in the weeks leading up to us, deciding to record again, out of curiosity, I just checked our site that tracks our views. And we're still getting a few. I don't know which crazy person was still listening to our podcast, but we get a couple views a day. Yeah. And I have no idea who that is, but thank you very much.
Not to mention, we're raking in the dough off of these advertisements.
Oh yes, if you've been listening on Spotify or YouTube, you probably noticed there's ads. Wow. We have made a grand total of $1.92, and I haven't even checked it today. I don't know what it is up to today, but when it hits $10, it's going to pay out, and we're going to make $5 a piece, and all of this is going to be worth it.
Yeah, we're going to go out for Big Macs to celebrate.
Yeah,
I cannot.
Big Macs. Can we go to Arby's? They have good sliders.
Roast beef sliders, $5 a piece. 2 for $5 happy hour.
We have to go at happy hour though. Yeah, okay.
We can make that work.
All right,
maybe a curly fry, maybe a Jamocha shake.
Shake. I don't know. Maybe a little of that.
A little this, a little that. I think we make a good team.
I think overall. We do too.
We got you, who can just tell the same story over and over and over without realizing that you told a story.
And you, who just says, "Oh yeah, that's a great story, Alan." You don't remind me that I'd already told it to you.
Well, I think
I appreciate that about you, Trent. Not many people are able to deal with that, and you do.
My parents started doing in their old age.
Their old age,
they're approaching 55 and 53. I'm not sure exactly. They started doing this thing where if one of them starts retelling a story, the other person cuts them off and says code blue, and that's like their secret hidden messaging that
code blue.
You've told me this story before. Other people aren't interested in this. Stop the story. Think of something else to say, or don't say anything at all. And I feel like we should establish a similar type of code.
Yeah. Well, I'm just imagining your parents now sitting in the living room. They have friends over or whatever, family, and they're talking, and your mom starts telling a story, and your dad goes, "Go blue!" Everyone's just quiet. Your mom just immediately shuts up, and everyone's just like, "What just happened?" Don't worry about it. It's code blue.
Awkward, but effective, and I feel like we should tap into that.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll think about it. What our code word should be. Code names would be fun too, but code word would be good first.
Good point, Alex. Thank you. That was some valuable.
Should I ask you? You have a nice watch.
Oh, shut up. Get out of here. It's a fossil though, so thank you.
Well,
I'm pretty proud of it.
Newer version.
On the other hand, I got my weaknesses too. I'll admit it.
No.
Wow, thanks for saying that. I don't.
I can't think of any.
We had one podcast. I remember we had one podcast that we recorded that we never released because I said something that
we did release it. We called it episode Trainwreck.
No, there was one that we recorded way after that I said something fairly questionable, a little borderline, and if it wasn't for Al to reel me back in every once in a while, I think that's where the balance comes in.
It's a little scary that I'm the one reeling you in because
no, not the greatest.
It's not really the...
For you, when you repeat a story, I'll say code blue. When I start saying something borderline, it's code red. How's that sound? So that'll keep us straight. Okay. But anyways, so what have you been doing the last year to 2 years? What's going on?
I had a baby. Kendra was also involved.
Okay, good.
And the baby's mine, and she's the baby's mother. And we had it. We had a kid. We did it. It's really a team effort, but mostly Kendra did it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Lucy Jo. Lucy Jo Overbeek. And because that's just a great name. It's a good name for her. It fits her, I think. She's going to be the official pod kid.
Oh, yes. Well, what happened to the podcast?
We didn't even talk about this.
Man.
Oh, okay. All right. I feel like this needs some explanation because I can hear you screaming on the other end of the podcast as you're listening to this. What happened to the podcat?
Jules is dead.
No. Hold on. Let's reel it back in. This is Code Red.
Jules is probably dead.
Code Red. Jules the Podcat. What to say about Jules? Jules, she was a great cat. She really was. And
AIDS and all.
Cat AIDS and all. Feline AIDS. But there came a point in her life when she realized she was no longer going to be the center of our attention when we were home. And she realized that pretty soon on, actually, when Lucy, or even before Lucy arrived home. She just knew. And she acted out by peeing on the sectional in our basement every single day.
No!
Every day. In fact, it still has a little hint of pee, even though we had it professionally cleaned. It was so bad. And one day,
open rebellion to a second child in the family.
Yes, exactly. And as you do when that happens, is you just get rid of the first one. So I came downstairs one day, and we had just put carpeting in the bedrooms in our basement, and there was a little pile of turds in one of the rooms. And I came upstairs. I said to Kendra, I am getting rid of the cat tomorrow. Didn't happen the very next day because I had to call the Humane Society and everything else. And I'll spare you the gory details.
You didn't just...
No, I did not kill the cat. No, I could have.
I know a lot of people that, and I'm not saying that I'm one of these people, but a lot of people who might sign up for the task of maybe the opportunity or the
I don't want to say
unenviable position of cat murder.
Yeah, I do know someone who may be up for that. But, I just thought maybe someone else would enjoy Jules peeing on their furniture. So I brought her to the Humane Society, and they were, I gotta tell you, they were very judgy at the Humane Society. First of all, because the cat was freaking out. So they kept saying things like, "Oh, poor kitty," and I'm just sitting there like, "Can I leave, please? I don't want to be here for this." And then they were like,
"Don't you want to say goodbye?"
Yeah, no, not really. And she wouldn't come out of her crate, so I said, "You know what? Just keep it." And then I left. And then I got in my car, and a sense of peace came over my soul when I realized my couch will no longer be pissed upon. And
it may still smell that way for some time, but
it's only been uphill.
At least the future is bright.
She served her purpose.
She served
her purpose well.
You know what? We didn't need a podcat after we got a pod kid.
Right, now we have a pod kid.
She was really just the buffer.
She filled the whole void in our hearts as well as in the hearts of our listeners. And it was time for her to move on to a better life at the Humane Society and maybe the ground. I don't know. But
and you guys should see Lucille. She's got those big, beautiful giraffe eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, just cute little smile. We were just hanging out with her before we started the podcast. She's in bed, just crying away. Sweet little baby.
She's probably asleep now, hopefully. But anyways, yeah. So that happened. Oh, also, I started up a new financial advisor business with my